Good morning. I just want to go through a quick video about the dyno tuning because people enjoy learning, listening, and getting an understanding about what their motorcycle is doing behaviour-wise, obviously upon its entry to the shop, opposed to when it leaves. Now, this is just typical, easy to go through, yet again, fourth gear run stuff. However, this works for every position of throttle open on a twist factor, through the whole rev range, right? All your RPM scale, all your twist grip position. I don't really care about this stuff up here, but what I want to go through is when the bike comes into the shop, one of the biggest things is with the tuning is getting your air fuel ratio correct through every state of throttle position, RPM position. So what I've got here is going through some of the fourth gear run stuff. This is at 100% throttle. Like I said, it's the easiest one to do because I can grab it and go. But what we're working on is a 13.0 AFR, obviously on delivery of twisting that throttle open. Now, whether it's 100% throttle area, 80, 60% throttle, 40, 30, 25, 20, doesn't matter. When you crack it open, the goal is for the tuner is to get your air-fuel ratio on the dotted line at 13.0, the best you can when it's in-house. So I don't let any bike leave. I get real OCD on this. I probably spend too much time in doing things, but I can't help it. But just running through what this is a magnitude of pulls. So hypothetically at 4,000 RPM, at one point through the tuning stage, we're at 12.36, 12.45, 12.88, 12.98. So when it left, we're typically, like I said, we're trying to get on that 13.0 the best we can, depending on the exhaust and the air cleaner setup and everything else. There's a lot that contributes to how smooth we can get an actual AFR line. So when you're cruising, right, we're sitting in an area of economy. But the minute you belt onto that throttle, your front and rear cylinder, which we've got front here is AFR1, AFR2, we've got to get these to work together in harmony. The more you've got your air fuel target here on the front and the rear the same, the best performance you will get out of the bike will be right there. So not only at 100% throttle are we chasing this 13.0 AFR, it's at 80% throttle. It's at 20%, 30, 40. Doesn't matter when you crack it on and you start getting into it, all this stuff's got to marry up. So every time you twist the throttle, the peak performance of that bike on how it's tuned for its calibration is seeing the best result for what it is. Now, I will say, for what it is here at the shop on the dyno, I want it to be the best that I can get it to, knowing that when it leaves, I've done the job that I can to the best of my ability. When you're out on the road, depending on, in differences of days of heat and altitude and everything else, yeah, you'll see marginal changes. But the problem is with a lot of bikes that are coming in, especially with Techno Research, which is a dump into the bike tune from a Harley dealership, they'll go, yep, that'll do. There's no dyno work. It's just putting a tune in and going, thanks for coming, see you later. You got a 475 S&S cam in your M8 or whatever. These lines can be all over the place depending on where you are, throttle-wise and everything else. I've seen them come in heavily lean, riching out, lean off again, whereas here we are targeting the best performance front and rear cylinder to work in conjunction with one another. So I just want to go through that because people go, oh, my bike starts and stops and does what it's meant to. Well, really? Like the bike I just dropped off yesterday, a 114 Milwaukee, it already had a 475 in it, but it was Techno Research tune dropped, and then obviously it's come in, and overall performance, we've seen pretty much 130 foot-pound of torque out of this bike. The exhaust system on it does let it down for horsepower. However, it still is a good bike to ride, and the crack on the throttle everywhere and how it's set up, it's absolutely amazing to ride, and that's what you want. You want the best rideability, the best performance out of what your motorcycle is. So if you've got heads that have come from factory that are 5% better on porting and everything else, and another set that could have went out on a fucking Friday. I always call them Friday engines because that's when the cranks are fucked and everything else. But if you've got the better setup in the engine from factory, then add this componentry, some bikes do get a lot more than others. It just depends. But it always leaves everywhere on that 13.0 AFR through all the rev range that's required for that. It leaves on that. So we know that we're targeting what we want in-house. And then when you're on the street, a lot of stuff I tune you might not even see on the street, but I still do it. And that's just what goes on with this sort of stuff, guys. So please keep in mind, if you're looking at a dyno tune, what we want to know is that you're getting the bang for buck out of the best performance you can for what that combination is and that bike, how it's set up. Just food for thought. If you want to book your bike in for a pre-check for a dyno run, I'm more than happy to do it. I charge $100 for it by the time I get it up, set it up and everything else and give it a run. But I guarantee you that you will be getting a hell of a lot more out of your motorcycle than what you've got. So please don't just think I've got a brand new bike. It's come from Harley. It's brand new. That stigma of being brand new doesn't mean it's set up correctly. I've not seen a bike come in yet that's had a fucking grass tune in it, especially when it comes from Harley or it's a Techno Research. Not even close. Power Vision is what I use. I swear by it. Love it. It's a great tool for tuning, and it'll never stop here. It's amazing. I've had nothing but good results. So just remember, guys, 13.0 AFR when you're on the money. If this thing's all over the place, and I mean everywhere through your rev range, you're going to see performance of the bike be up and down like a yo-yo. It's absolute junk.